It's finally happening. Tech Ultimate Gohan is getting an EZA. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we have the GOAT himself returning to Dokkan battle to claim his throne. Tech Ultimate Gohan is getting an EZA, and oh boy, he just might be the most broken one ever. So in this video, we're going to take a look at what this guy is doing and mainly focus on when you can expect to pick this guy up and EZA him on Global Dokkan. So let's go ahead, let's jump on over to this guy's information. So he is, where is it? Right here. So we have, he is now Savior's Hybrid Saiyans, category Key 3, HP attack and defense across the board, 170%. And on his super attack effect, he is doing before, greatly raising attack and defense infinitely. He will also lower enemies' attack as he does so. We've talked about this before. The combination of lowering attack and raising defense is insanely huge. It just allows you to quickly close the gap between your attack, the enemy's attack, and your defense. And in today's meta, right, there are quite a few bosses that can have their attack lowered, so that is actually really useful. So we've also got a passive skill of Key 3, HP attack defense, or just attack and defense, 158%. Makes sense, he's Gohan unit. We're going to have that play on the Gohan there. He also gets an additional 58% and reduces damage received by 30% for the turn from his entry turn. So basically, the first turn is always the scariest for him, right? It's when he doesn't have the highest defense. He doesn't really get the ball rolling until about his third appearance. And this 30% just kind of really helps him do that, right? Now, he also has the ability to launch an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack, and launches another additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack, starting which he performs the third attack of the battle. He has guaranteed guard and an additional attack of 58% within the same turn. And 58% for 3 turns when guard is activated. And guard is basically always going to be activated, so you're always going to have that extra buff. So he has the potential to launch 4 supers in a turn, which essentially, if he actually gets them off, right, because you're including hidden potential in here, if he actually gets those off, we're talking about a 200% attack and defense raise every single turn, along with having 30% damage reduction for that first turn and guaranteed guard. This puts him in a crazy situation. Like, if we just kind of pull open here Mr. Halvard's calcs here to just kind of show you what I mean about how quickly he can spin out of control, right, as a stacking unit with all of these things. Where is this guy's calcs at? Did he not post them yet? I swear I saw he posted. Ah, here they are. All right, so taking a look at his calcs here in his base form, right, his start of turn defense is 294, 300k with guard with damage reduction. That's actually really good, bumping him up, right, by the end of his first turn. He would have almost 700k if he gets all of his supers. Like, that's actually kind of crazy. By his second appearance, with let's say minimum 3 supers per turn, let's just say he does that. It's a bit RNG, like, you're not always gonna get it, right? But so either two appearances or 3 appearances, 6 stacks with his SA. By that by the time you get 6 attacks in with him, you are at over 1,000,000 defense with guard, with damage reduction. Add on to the fact that that same turn he still has the potential to super attack 3 to 4 times. You could possibly end up, by his third appearance, have a unit with 1.7 million defense and guard. Right, that's actually kind of insane. If you were to have 40% support, we're talking 2 million defense. Now, let it be known that without guard, that's impressive in itself, right? But also understand just how hard some of these bosses hit, right? Beast Gohan hits with a 3 million super, so with 2 million raw defense, that's still, right, taking 1 million damage from Beast Gohan. However, we're fortunate that he does in fact have guard, which cuts that damage in half. So it's actually more like he'll be taking about 500k from a super from Beast, right? So, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about, but I mean, by the time you get to that point, you're going to be well enough, well into your ability to tank those supers from these major bosses. It just letting this guy do what he does best, and that is stack defense. So Calc's looking pretty good in that regard, but I do actually want to check him out here. What is he doing once transformed? Because remember, he can transform. It is an active skill transformation, which means there'll be no changes to it. It's just basically from the 5th turn, and you'll transform into his ultimate Gohan state. So his ultimate Gohan state will have key 3, attack defense 258%, right? He's going to be, and then he gets to keep all of that stack that he's doing, that he did before, right? And then he'll have guaranteed guard, launches an additional super attack guaranteed, he has an additional 58% for the rest of battle, and effective against all types. And he performs critical hit when facing one enemy who's 58% or more, or when facing Majin Buu Saga enemy. His super attack effects will be greatly raising attack and defense for 3 turns. So he has a little bit of a stack once transformed. So he's going to be putting up some numbers when transformed. But I mean, if we think about how Gohan was used before, this is pretty much going to be, right, like last resort. You have no other choice. You're winning that turn, right? You almost never transform him. But, you know, just know that when you do, it's going to be worth it. He's going to be putting out some pretty crazy damage. And like if you transform him on that 6 super attack effect stack, right? Like you transform him that turn, you're already gotten, right? If he 3 supers that turn, you've got 2 million defense with guard, right? Let's say you let him fully build up, you've got support on rotation, you could end up with a unit with having 3 million defense right there. And then at that point, you are absolutely taking any hit that comes his way. So, I mean, it's definitely worth it to transform him. I know a little people are a bit underwhelmed compared to what his base is doing, but the numbers he's going to put out, especially if you allowed him to stack prior, is going to mean that he's going to be doing a lot better because, right, his stats are higher than they are in his base form. So he's going to be looking a lot better offensively than he was in his base form. That was the purpose of this. It's always going to be the purpose of this. So just be aware of that. So I really liking what they did. The dude, he has returned to claim his crown, and it is rightfully deserved. So I can't wait to see what he's going to look like in game. Speaking of, what is he going to look like in game? Well, we've had the data download already, which means we know exactly when he is dropping. So for me, he is dropping on May 7th at 10 p.m. as you can see right here on the Dokkan wiki, which I will link in the description down below. But for the rest of the world, that's going to be on May 8th, right? JP time, that'll be on May 8th. For the rest of the world, that'll be May 8th. I'm usually one of the last people to receive these drops because of my location here in the middle of the ocean, but May 8th, what's the significance of that? Well, that is Gohan Day. It makes a whole lot of sense that that is what's happened. And, you know, funny enough, I did make a post earlier in the week suggesting that they just might EZA this guy on Gohan Day. And lo and behold, I was right. A lot of people didn't think I would be right, but I mean, it just seemed right, and I'm so glad to have been able to kind of, I don't know, who knows. I was just happy that we got him. So, guys, that is it for the video. That is everything you need to know about when this guy is coming, May 8th, Gohan Day, and just how good is he. So if you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, what are your thoughts on the King of Dokkan? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.